Hello everybody, this is Mommy with Flowers by the Bunch. I wanted to do a quick tutorial on how to make a grapevine wreath. So I had a customer come in and ask us to make a wreath to go on the front door of her dad's house, and she wanted it in more masculine colors, so that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to start out with a grapevine wreath. I believe that this is a 24-inch. It's a little big, but that's the size that she wanted. So I'm going to get started. So my mind thinks that I am going to, I've got a little piece that I'm going to pull out. My mind thinks that I'm going to do flowers here and maybe a touch here with some pretty ribbons. So I'm going to get started by adding a couple of blue hydrangeas. So this is an antique blue hydrangea. And I'm going to just do just a couple. So I tuck it and I cut it off. Now this is a pan of glue. It's pan glue. I'm going to dip it in that glue and I'm tucking it right into the wreath. Fluffing it up just a little bit. Taking another flower, cutting it off with just a pair of snips. And I actually cut it in two different pieces. I'm going to use this greenery in the wreath. So I'm going to dip my flower into the glue and tuck it right in. I'm going to use this greenery also. Just tuck that right in. So always when using artificial flowers, save the greenery because the greenery can be used in the wreath also. So it can be used in artificial, any kind of artificial arrangement, but always save that greenery. Don't throw it away. Put that right in. Okay, next I've got these are white artificial peonies. I love that yellow center, and that's the reason I chose these. It's kind of an ivory, really not a true white, more of an ivory. I'm dipping that in the glue. I'm tucking just a couple of those in. I love a peony. I love an artificial and I love a fresh. There's just nothing prettier than a peony. Or a peony, depends on where in the country you're at. I'm also going to take another stem of these and use it, tuck him right up there at the top, okay? I think I want one more stem. And I am just, every time I cut it off and go to hit it in glue, I'm just dipping it in that pan of glue and just tucking that right in. Next, I'm going to use these pretty red lilies. She really wanted red in there, and so I thought these lilies were perfect. I love that the stamens are yellow, so it pulls the yellow from the center of the peony. And I've also got some poppies that are yellow that I was going to add to this arrangement. I just cut them short, dipping them in that glue, and then tucking them right into this pretty arrangement. Okay, and then I have these little yellow poppies, and they're just so cute. We ordered these from a wholesaler, an online wholesaler, and they really came here way cuter than I expected. You know, when you pick something offline, you're never sure exactly what you're going to get, but I love the way these look. So I'm just dipping them in that glue, tucking them down into this arrangement. Now always be sure when you're working with any kind of silk flowers to pull the tags off. You don't want to leave the tag in your wreath. And you can always snip and cut them apart. Lift my bracelet on the wreath. Okay, so I've got all the flowers that I'm going to use tucked in. Now I'm going to come back with a little bit of greenery. So this is one stem of eucalyptus, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it apart and I'm going to make it work all the way through. So you see how many stems I'm getting from this one piece. So a good bit. So I'm going to take it, and I'm actually just going to take all the little pieces apart. I'm going to trim it back. Tuck it right in. So remember, when you get a piece of foliage, that you can always make it go further by cutting it into smaller pieces, and then you can use it throughout the wreath or an arrangement, or however you're planning on using your artificial flowers. So this one's a little long, so I'm just trimming it back. I got a lot of insertions and that was one stem. One stem, and I got that many pieces to dip that in glue again. Okay. So there we go. Next I'm going to come in with just a little bit of fern. So this is kind of a plastic fern, but I like the way it looks. It's really pretty. I love this color. I like that it's a bright green, because then it's going to brighten up this arrangement. So I'm just taking it and cutting it off this little bush. Kind of fluff it. Like that bright green, it looks pretty in there. Okay, so next I'm going to come in with the ribbon. So I'm going to tie a bow. Because she really wanted the red, I thought this red and yellow and blue, it has a touch of green, this plaid would really be great for summertime. So I'm going to make a bow. So I'm going to start out, drop it on the floor because it's a little easier. I'm going to teach you how to make a bow. And I've done this video before, but I'll do it again. And if you've seen this before, just fast forward. Okay, so I'm going to take it, and I'm holding the first piece between my thumb and my pointer, and I'm going to gather it and make a loop. I'm going to twist, so I'm still holding it under there. I'm going to make another loop. I'm going to twist, and another loop, twist, and another loop, twist, and another loop. And so I'm just gathering the ribbon between these two fingers. I'm going to twist one more time, and then I'm going to cut a long tail. Okay, so there's that first part of the bow. And now I am going to stack it with this dark blue. I just thought this blue was perfect. So I'm going to just do the exact same thing. I just started out with my ribbon, and I'm just putting it right between that pointer and that thumb, just the same. And I'm just making more, I'm just adding a few more loops. All right, so I added 5 more loops. I'm going to make another tail. Next, I'm going to take a long piece of florist wire, and I'm laying it right up underneath my thumb. You can see it right there up underneath my thumb. And I'm going to bend the 2 arms down so that they're right here between these 2 fingers. I'm going to take this pointer finger and I'm laying it right on top of my other 2 fingers, and I'm twisting it tight. So what that's doing, when you put this finger in between, it pushes that wire tight, okay? And then I'm just going to fluff my bow. Now I'm going to take this bow and I'm going to tie it right here into this ring. So I just took that long wire and I'm going to just twist it on the back, and you just twist it tight. I'm going to twist it about 5 times just to make sure. And there it is. I always like to kind of give my ribbons just a little bit of a scrunch instead of leaving them just straight out. I don't know why. I just think it looks a little better, but that's completely up to you. All right, so there's that bow. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of ribbon here. I'm going to do the exact same thing, but it'll be much smaller. I'm not going to do real long tails. And I'm only going to do 3 loops per ribbon. I made my bow. I'm taking my wire and doing exactly the same thing, putting it under that thumb and bending it down between those 2 fingers, using this finger to push it tight. All right, and I'm going to take this one and tuck it right up underneath here. And then you can always twist and turn. Remember, with wired ribbon, and that's what I've used today, all of this is wired ribbon. So if it gets squashed, it's okay. All you have to do is just fluff that back up. It works wonders. It really makes all the difference in the world. But there we go. There is our summer wreath made specifically for her dad's door. Guys, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you like videos like these, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. And you can always check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you real soon.
Darling,